good having DJ and Michael back out there with you?
Yeah, most definitely. It's always great to have those two guys, have our group together. That's how we started it, you know what I'm saying? So, the way teams try to attack us without them, they back, so looking forward to that. No knock to the guys that are out there because we have full belief that they can get the job done as well. So, that's just what that is, man. Yeah.
When you're playing against a rookie quarterback like Dre compared to somebody maybe veteran like you were last week against Russ or any of the other veteran quarterbacks you've seen in the past, can you be more aggressive or take more chances knowing you've seen more things in this league than maybe he has?
Sometimes it really just depends on what the play call is, but definitely sometimes for sure.
What do you see from him on film, Drake May?
He looked pretty good. I done seen him since college, so he was a great quarterback to watch in college, and I feel like, even when Brissett was starting, he was always ready. So it's always good when you see young guys come into the league and they get that chance. So it's gonna be a great opportunity to go against him, compete against him for sure.
It seems like that offense has opened up quite a bit more since he went in under center. I mean, they started. They struggled against the Jaguars later, but they started fast there a week before. I think he threw 3 touchdowns or something like that. So, can you tell the offense maybe the explosiveness is amped up a little bit?
Oh yeah, definitely, man. I feel like those guys are very comfortable with him at quarterback. And I know he's a very confident guy, so he's not scared to throw the ball down the field. So, we looking forward to those opportunities. Yeah.
Saw Sports told us that Reddick will play this week. What have you seen from him this week in practice, and what do you kind of sense that he can add to you guys as a whole on defense?
Man, he's very humble dude. He just came in ready to learn, not feeling himself or being cocky or nothing like that. I met him at the Pro Bowl a minute ago, so I was already familiar with him, and he had a lot. Pass rush, getting to the quarterback. No matter what it is, finding a way to get to the quarterback. And being effective in the run game as well. He offered a lot of versatility. So I'm looking forward to taking the field with him on Sunday.
How much does that help in the secondary, just having a guy like that proven quarterback sacker?
A lot. That helps a lot. Speaking of you, when you said, can we take more chances? If you look around the league, you got some teams who corners they take more chances because they feel like their guys gonna get home. And we have our times that we do that as well in terms of taking chances, but adding depth to our guys that we have on the D line already. It's just a plus.
Your first couple years in the league saw I think this defense only blitz like 18, at most 19% of the time. That number's a lot more this year. It's like 30-something percent. How does that change the way, you're not blitzing, but how does it change the way you're playing as a corner when the guys maybe that are back there in the secondary are not trying to get home?
Man, but what I can tell you, because I know like one of my individual goals that I wanted to get more picks. When you play man, it's kind of harder to get more picks. Back is to the quarterback, especially like if you're playing against a quarterback like Aaron. Aaron literally just going to throw the ball at the back of your head. What's the worst that can happen? Break up, PI, something like that. Like, man, it's just a hard. And then the way teams trying to scheme us, like runaways, and they just running away from us. So, it's definitely a lot harder to get picks, but it's just one of those things where it's like, hey, we got to stop our man from catching the ball. That's the thought process.
So when you add then, theoretically, someone like Hassan, you put him next to McDonald, on the other side of McDonald, he's got, I think, second in the league in sacks. Quinn, and obviously we all know what he can do. Should this theoretically allow you guys to get back to playing how you have been the first 2-3 years of your career?
Yeah.
Patriots. But is there anything when you guys step between the lines between you and Gonzalez, just getting a chance to go one of the best receivers in the league versus one of the best corners in the league?
Besides him being a great player and me being a competitor and wanting to help our teams win, he's a great dude, someone that I've seen a couple times just around in this offseason, and just the way you respect your opponent is playing your heart out, doing your best to win your rep, and you know, I feel like that's it with me and him, and I feel like that'll be exemplified on the weekend.
Vocal about how you felt about Steelers game and your performance. You said you had some things to fix this week. How did the week go for you, and do you feel like you did those things that you felt like you need to?
Yeah, I do. You know, I feel like step one of being better and you know, playing the way you want to is being conscious and self-aware of what you did to put yourself in that position the week previous. So then that's where it all started, watching the film and you know, being intentional in practice. So just catching the ball away from my body, doing those type of things. I think I did a really good job of that this week. I feel, you know, as confident as I felt all year. And now it's just about going out there and making sure it translates to Sunday, which I'm confident it will.
There was a report, Garrett, before the game that after the Jets had acquired Davante, teams had called the Jets about acquiring you via trade. The Jets said, no, we're not trading him. But was that on your mind at all? I mean, human. I don't know how. I don't know if you watched your plate or if you saw it or anything like that. If it weighed on you.
No, I wouldn't say it weighed on me at all. I wouldn't think about it during the game. Yeah, well, no, not. You know, I'm not gonna say that was the reason why I played bad or nothing. No, I wasn't thinking about it.
What was your takeaway from Davante's speech, which has received a lot of attention this week?
Just that stuff like that is contagious, and it's something that, you know, we've you know, this all I know, so you kind of get used to something, but the reality of it is it's not okay, and we got to figure it out, and we got to figure out why we're not winning games, because we got all the talent in the world, we got all the pieces, so why aren't we winning when it matters? And then, you know, little things like that add up, and that was my takeaway from it, coming from someone that's been a part of great cultures, great teams, and is a great player himself. You know, when he talks, you're going to listen. So I know we all, you know, heard him and tried to go about it the right way this practice week, and as far as having energy and you know, if you don't have the energy, fake it till you make it, so that it's, you know, it's contagious. And that was my kind of takeaway from that.
It moved you all over the place, but I imagine with Davante and with Allen, if he's able to play, you can line up a little bit more in the slot. We've seen you be pretty ridiculous inside there. I mean, is that a place that you feel at home? Is that something you would enjoy being in there more? Or is it like outside?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind being in the slot. I don't mind being outside. The truth of it is, you know, usually you get less of a, you know, a cover player in the slot. You get to see the defense show itself in a little different view, you know, as opposed to being on the outside and just focused on your corner. So there's ways to get into your route a little faster and just break down the coverage and find that zone and that hole. So I like it, and I feel like, you know, being the type of player I am, it's you know, it can seem a little easier in the slot to break things down, I'll say. But no, I like doing both, man. I ain't gonna fake it. I like doing both. They want me to be in the slot, and you know, vice versa.
When you're in the slot, can you get quick wins that are right in the quarterback's wheelhouse, meaning right in front of him? Is that an aspect of it that's positive, where you're doing it right in front of him?
You know, that's a good point. Maybe. Yeah, maybe that is something that goes into it. But you know, I think the reality, but you got to make some tough catches in the slot. All of a sudden, you're over the middle of the field. Got those big, you know, the big backers and the stack monsters that you got to deal with a little more, and that's what comes with it. But you are right in that sight line of the quarterback. So, yeah.
Do you remember the feeling walking out of the stadium after beating these guys a month ago? And you know,
Yeah.
your team was riding pretty high right then.
Yeah.
You know, can you get back to that with a win Sunday? You think?
Yeah, you know, you gotta start somewhere, and this is who our next opponent is. So we gotta go out and do what we gotta do. Yeah, I mean, if we want to get on the streak, we want to get on, and if we're gonna do it, it starts this weekend. So, you know, we got the Patriots, and we gotta you know, handle our business.
I believe the team morale is where it needs to be. You know, we had some adversity hit. As a team, we all would agree that we didn't respond the right way with the adversity. We've had some people say some things throughout these past few weeks. We've had people, you know, step up. We had people, you know, show ways not to do those things. So I think we're in the right spot. I think everybody's mentally in the right spot physically, but I think spiritually we are too, which is most important. Because that's what it comes down to. When adversity hits, you just want to show who you really are. there's no magic potion to giving up a touchdown but still fighting back to win the game. There's no magic potion to being down the whole game but finding a way to win it in 2 minutes. But just showing who you really are. I think it's time for us to respond the right way when adversity hits in the game, whether we're up or down, and we have to be the same team no matter what. So I think this weekend is going to be the right time to show that.
What do you think of Davante's speech after the game?
I think it was just what everybody needed. Whether he was talking to you or whether he wasn't, it was something that needed to be said. Brick talked to the whole team a few days later about how it coming from him. He hasn't been here at all. He's only been with us a week, played 1 game with us, and he felt and saw that, which was real. As a team, the core group, we've been in this situation a lot of times, and unfortunately, we came out on losing end. So it can be easy to kind of fall in that trap of like, dang, here we go. But that's what I was saying, like about diversity. We got to make it could be okay to think like that, but how are we going to change that? So when adversity hits again, because we know it will, what's going to be our reaction, and are we going to respond the right way? And if you do respond the right way, if you see a player, a teammate, a coach not responding that way, let's make sure we all get on the same page. So it coming from him was very good because everybody respects him. He has all the accolades in the world. He's definitely paid. But that's who he is as a person and as a man. So I think that was really good to come from him.
Have you gotten the sense that it's resonated, or is that something you'll kind of see on Sunday?
I hope it resonated right after he's finished speaking. But obviously we're going to see this Sunday because, like you said, versus going to come. It would be nice to have a game like last time, but you can't prepare for that. We just got to go out there and do our job, and when that moment comes, let's respond the right way.
Some people could look at that and say he's only been here for a few days. What makes him like an expert or something like that? Could you see how?
That's a bad response. So if that was the talk in the locker room or around, then that would get weeded out real quick because that's not winning football. That's not being a teammate. That's not holding your own self accountable if you're thinking that way. And if you are thinking that way, he probably was talking to you. So hopefully that message, whoever was in that locker room at the time, was heard from top to bottom, and we can move forward with that.
What's it been like seeing Jeff go from, he was only calling the plays on defense, and now he's calling the plays on defense and running the show? Like, how have you seen him handling that? I feel like he's handled it with grace. He's been humble about it, and he's been vulnerable about it. He's opened up. He was surprised just like everybody else was. So it really was a family effort to kind of cope with what happened. But obviously try to find a way to move forward the right way and productively. Honestly, it really feels like it's just been a long defensive meeting, like just all the way through because, he's just saying the same things we hear in the defensive room. All the things he's preached to us these past few years that's made the defense what it is, to make us fight this hard, the love and regard, the mind, heart, fist. All that he's now just bringing the light to everyone to hear. So it's just been cool to see the offense and the special teams, hear those messages, feel his passion, hear his speeches before the night before the games, and watching him go out there and respond. So it's been good.
Did you ever see him play? Have you ever seen video or tape of him playing?
Oh yeah.
He seemed like a very tough linebacker.
Yeah. If you run across a linebacker with a mohawk, then he's either crazy or he can hit really hard. But as a kid, I definitely remember watching Coach Brick play. I remember his name, I remember his face, I remember all that. So I respect him a lot as a person, and obviously, as him being a former player, and him playing with Patrick Willis. I believe Ronnie Lott, if I'm not mistaken, was like his mentor, and I think coached him. Am I correct? I don't think was it. Who was the?
Patrick Willis.
No, not Patrick Willis. He was the head coach for
Singletary.
Singletary. There we go. Sorry, Singletary. Also a bad A linebacker as well. So he knows a lot of ball. He's seen a lot of ball. Has that old school mindset, which I love. That's who I am. So a lot of respect for Coach Garrett for sure.
You teased him about his flag throwing technique.
Flag throwing?
The challenge flag. Did you see he dropped?
Oh no, I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
How do you think your defense has played the last couple of weeks?
I think it's fair to say we haven't played to our standard. People can say what's the reason been, but at the end of the day, we're the ones that cross the white lines. We're the ones that have to, handle the adversity. We're the ones that have to step up when the times get tough. So we challenged ourselves to, get back to our standard, just, having fun out there, just running around, hitting, executing, getting turnovers. So that's just what we have to do, because that's what it's going to take for us to win football games.
As far as Jeff, you talked about the toughness as a player.
He doesn't like Jeff. He doesn't like Jeff.
Oh.
Gotta call him. Gotta Coach Brick.
Okay, Coach Brick.
Yeah.
Had the toughness as a player from what you saw and watched. How does that carry over to being a head coach?
I think it's a mindset. Like his ability to take adversity, whether it's good or bad, and turn it into something, and make it worth something fighting for. Like I said before, him being vulnerable, him opening up into the defense. The other day, him opening up to the whole team, telling his story, telling his why. Like that builds character, that builds trust, and that builds love, and that builds the family. That makes you want to go out there and play hard for him. That makes you want to go out there and feed his family. That makes you want to go out there, do everything you can for him as a man, but also as a coach, because he would do the same thing off the field, and if he could play, he would definitely be doing the same thing for us on the field. So I think that's just a respect thing.
Here with Jalen Mills. What have you seen from the Patriots offense so far with Drake May?
Yeah, a guy who's he's trying to put the ball in the air. Of course, they are still trying to establish their run game. They got a good running back over there with Ramondre. But young quarterback, like I said, is putting the ball in the air, and he's also, he's getting those 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6. He's converting those also with his leg as well. So we just have to be aware of that when he does want to take off scrambling and in those passing down situations, cover down on those guys.
As a former Patriot, do you see similarities in the defense, or is it totally different without Belichick there?
Yeah, definitely similarities. A lot of those guys were there when I was there. DC. Who is the DC now? We call him DC, Covington. He was there. He was the D-line coach. Of course, Mayo as well. So they are kind of running the same type of defense. Little tweaks here and there, but for the most part the same.
Is there extra meaning for you playing at Foxborough this weekend?
I don't want to put a stamp on that because at the end of the day, it's time to win regardless, whoever we are going against. When Sunday at 1 o'clock comes, I'm pretty sure that I will be fired up, and everybody will be able to tell. But as of right now, just trying to stay focused, trying to stay calm throughout this process, and when Sunday comes, just let it rip.
Where do you feel like you are with this defense after coming here and quickly being integrated?
I think the coaching staff, Coach M, did a really, really good job with me every morning. One-on-one meetings, detailing the playbook for me through our walkthroughs, through our practice. Like I said, meetings in the morning to the point to where I feel like I pretty much got a good grasp of the defense.
So how much more meat on the bone is there for you? What do you think your game plays well into this defense? What matches well?
I think just the defense in general. Ask the safeties to do a lot of communication, which I'm not afraid of. I've been a part of defense with safety have to do a lot of communication. Safety have to play man. We have to play in the middle. We have to blitz. So I think as far as that part, my versatility allows me to do a lot of that in this defense, and I think it complements me really well.
Adding a guy like Hassan Reddick into the fold where you get some more pass rush juice to go along with Quinnen and Will McDonald, what can that do for the secondary?
Yeah. Now, whether it's man opportunities or zone opportunities, we're talking about being able to get the quarterback, have the ball get out of his hands quicker, faster, and if not, he's in trouble. You get a guy like Hassan where the slide may go to him now, and you got a guy like Will one-on-one, and you know how that goes. Or they may chip both of those guys, and now Quinn gets the one-on-one, and you know how that goes as well. So I think those guys complimenting us in the back end, I think it's going to be really, really good for us going forward.
You didn't overlap with him in Philly, I don't believe, but obviously have teammates. Has anyone just either before this year or since reached out to you about what kind of player and teammate he is?
Yeah, hard worker. Guy's gonna go out there and give it his all, and that's all we can ask for him. I know he has big expectations for himself, and we have big expectations for him. But at the end of the day, he goes out there, beats himself, play full tilt to the whistle, whether it's 60 snaps, 70 snaps, whatever it may be. That's all we can ask of him.
I know you've only been here for a little bit, but the standard of this defense usually is not to let up 37 points like in Pittsburgh. what has been the focus in the meeting rooms behind the scenes this week that's maybe a little more in the light than weeks past?
The detail, and that detail comes one day at a time, one meeting at a time, one practice at a time. Of course, we're ready for Sunday. We want to get this nasty taste out of our mouth from last week. But at the end of the day, it's like I said, one day at a time, one practice at a time, one meeting at a time. And when Sunday gets here, let the chips fall where they may.
Awesome, Jalen. Appreciate the time. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.